Imagine I told you as a Wizards fan that we'd have a very close game with the Brooklyn Nets, and the only way we were gonna win is to basically play defense against KD and Kyrie. At the end of the game, all we needed was one stop. How much faith do you have in the Wizards getting that stop? No matter how much it was, it didn't matter. Both KD and Kyrie missed two pretty good shots. I'm still shook. If I had to think about this game for just more than 2 seconds, then Brooklyn played very sloppily. They had about 20 turnovers and a lot of plays where, had they even been playing just slightly more focused ball, we probably would have gotten the brakes blown out on us, because Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal were pretty cold until that late fourth quarter. They both started to really come on. Bradley Beal was kind of hitting shots here or there, but at the half he was 8 of 20 and Russ was a legendary 3 of 15. That's the crux of it. Brooklyn played worse than Washington played good. There wasn't this kind of, oh man, the Wizards are really taking it to Brooklyn. It was more, we're just keeping pace with them. And if we're going to do that, then we just might as well keep scoring, because there's not room for defense on this team. And I hate that I'm talking about this victory in such a sort of, we didn't really deserve it type of way, but it really felt like we got pretty lucky towards the end. Not only is the defense porous, but Scott Brooks has this really weird obsession with playing like 4 guards and 1 big, or now just 3 guards. He's subtracted down to 3 guards, and it's not just, it's like that's a popular one when it comes to his rotations, is that the 3 guard lineup is the one that's annoying and killer. Nah, it's not just that. His rotations are abysmal and they're inconsistent. We got a new member of the MIA list. Last video I was talking about Garrison Matthews and how he didn't show until he blew out a team. Same with Isak Bonga, who didn't show until he blew out a team. Both were nowhere to be seen. But not only them, but Mo Wagner, as well as now Troy Brown Jr. is now getting no run. And there's not an explanation for it. There's not this kind of sensible thing. Brooks's rotations have a cascading effect to where it makes it so Westbrook looks worse. It's not that Westbrook isn't playing really badly at times. Like, he's, again, that 3 at the late clock. I don't know, because we could have had, we probably didn't have much time left. I want to say that's the reason, but I cannot remember. There was too much happening at once. Not just that, but the fact that there's no spacing for Westbrook to work with. You're putting him out here with Ish Smith, Bertans, Jerome Robinson, and Lopez, and you're telling him to make something out of that. How? Because there's only really one shooter on that entire set of names, and that's Bertans. And Bertans is still slowly but surely coming on. When he's making his shots, yeah, it looks great, but he has to be on fire. He has to be absolutely cooking for us to get any kind of defensive attention moving away from other players. Because Ish Smith will be wide open at the 3-point line, and occasionally he'll throw it up, but most of the time he'll just pass it off. He'll look for the pass. And then when he passes it off, it might go to Russ, and Russ will drive into the paint or sometimes take a mid-range, but he'll drive into the paint, he'll throw it, and whoever catches it kind of just does the exact same thing. It's just drive and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick. At some point, someone has to shoot. But when you have no shooters and you have such a condensed floor, no one can do anything. And again, on top of that, with the MIA, when your best defender or your best 3-point shooter, or at least another shooter that could space the floor, another player that could do something for you, is getting yanked in and out of games, it's just weird to me. I'm so confused about Jerome Robinson. It's not that I want him to do badly. The problem is I'm confused at what Brooks's criteria is, that Jerome Robinson gets such a long leash, but these other players that have proven to be beneficial consistently throughout like the season prior to the bubble and even after the bubble. Just what is the criteria? What is the criteria? I'd love to know. But enough ranting about how Brooks basically is one of the linchpins of our team doing not as good as they could be, not being able to play up to their potential. You know, he's literally playing defense against his own team with the rotations he makes. But enough of that. Durant and Irving look amazing. It's scary. They're going to be scary. If they can clean up, I don't think they're going to be playing like this when we get closer to the playoffs. It's early season, so I don't think they're going to keep playing like this, like where it's just sloppy balls, sloppy turnovers, and this sort of lack of communications. Because anytime a team loses to us, I feel like they're just like, all right, we need to clean up our act because we're doing too much now. We're not doing the things we need to be. Like you play against us and you lose, you get a players only meeting. You know what I'm saying? Back to the Wizards. Hachimura, another guy that I saw being very aggressive. I really liked when we had him, you know, taking advantage of the mismatch on Kyrie Irving and doing a lot of post ups. That was really nice to see. He had been aggressive in the Timberwolves game, but it just couldn't hit anything. And this one, he was definitely taking it to Kyrie and Joe Harris and whoever else will behold was in the lane against him, and out hustling the Nets was surprising. It was just surprising, and the defensive energy was like, it was occasionally there. We also got extremely lucky at the end. Just kind of sad that we have to get lucky to win, and we have to basically win in spite of things. I hate that the Wizards keep winning in spite of things and not just because they were good. Moments that I saw in the game that I liked. Welcome to Denny's, Kyrie. Advia blocked Kyrie on a shot, which was nice. I was like, okay, cool. He's Denny. Welcome to Denny's, Kyrie. Welcome to Denny's. Hachimura got really lucky at the beginning. I was just talking up like how much I loved how he was playing, and then I just remembered that first moment KD put him in the mixtape and then just yammed, and DeAndre Jordan, Hachimura needs to send DeAndre Jordan like some candy or something, because DeAndre Jordan didn't get that offensive foul by pulling on Thomas Bryant. So I don't even know why. Like, DeAndre, you just watched your teammate just put his defender in a blender and just get a wide open dunk. You're like, I'm just gonna yank on Thomas Bryant's arm right here, right quick. Thanks, DeAndre Jordan. You saved Hachimura from getting put on a platter because he got crossed up. Like Russell Westbrook and Scott Brooks, they both got technical fouls. Russ, don't do that. That's what I have to say to Brooks. Brooks, keep doing that. Brooks, if 2 times you get ejected, then maybe the assistant coach, which apparently he's like awful defensively, and that's apparently why we're so bad. I've just seen that a lot in Wizards Reddit, people talking about how bad our assistant coach is. So maybe that wouldn't work out, but Brooks, maybe if you get ejected, we'll play better. I don't know. Last one. Beal got into it with Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot, and like at one point I think he thought that they were supposed to be, he was talking to the ref, Beal's talking to the ref, and he's like, why isn't that the T? Because like I guess the guy was supposed to come off the bench or something. At least that's what it looked like. And Beal did that like signature kind of really pose where he's just disappointed. It just was really funny. I had me a nice little chuckle when he made that like face, because it just reminded me of when that guy was like, Beal, you suck, and he just kind of looks up at him. I love that meme. Love Beal. Love the Wizards when they're not being eternally frustrating, but they're eternally frustrating. So, but yeah, nice moments. And we have one more thing. We have one more thing. I am starting. This is unofficial. No one asked me to do this, just like no one asked for my opinion on Wizards. I am starting a Robin Lopez fall counter because I have seen this man throughout 7 games. This man will touch earth so many times throughout a game, and it is just so funny every time. Like, I just chuckle every time. It's so good when he falls, because he just seems like an old man just trying to sit down, but he just missed the chair. I want to see how many I can get throughout the season. I'll put that somewhere on the screen. But yeah, we beat the Nets. We are now 2-5. I believe our next game's against Philly. If we play the exact same way that we did against Philly in the first game, but just not, just not mess up at the end of the game, then we might be 3-5, but we don't really play defense and we leave shooters open a lot. So I'm really scared. And by really scared, I'm just like prepared to be disappointed, but we'll be pleasantly surprised if we win. Yeah, this has been WizWatch. This is what I've seen watching the Wizards play the game of basketball. Well, this guy says, I don't know one Wizard that's ever eaten a Philly cheesesteak. Do you?